It is an honor to introduce my friend and guest, Walter Nunez, owner of A&P Painting and Flooring in Woodstock, Georgia. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for the invite.
yeah, you're welcome. Tell us a little bit about your business and how long have you been in business?
Yeah. So AMP started about 5 years ago. I've been in business as AMP 5 years ago ish. And it has started simply, off of uh, me having to move to Georgia about 5, 6 years ago, you know. So,
You said to move to Georgia?
yes.
Where did you move from?
So I'm from Jersey.
Okay.
I'm a Jersey boy.
Yeah, Georgia's a lot different, huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Took a lot of adjusting and cultural shock twice over again. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what prompted you to start your business?
So, when I first moved to Georgia, I moved with a whole different industry, more of a retail level and corporate. So, when I got involved with project management, building some stores, build out, I used to work for Verizon all through intro. So, I got relocated to Georgia to build out a market and start up some retail brick and mortar stores. And that's how I got introduced into the contracting business. And eventually I saw and I quickly realized what was lacking on the communication, the professionalism, especially in the painting and flooring industry. Most of the smaller trades like plumbers, electricians, they kind of had it under control because it's more like a straightforward with process scenario. As opposed on the painting and flooring and larger scales, processes weren't in place. So, and eventually, as I kept on building out more stores with Verizon, I realized more and more that that was a huge missed out opportunity. And little that I know, a few years later, here I am doing A&P painting and flooring.
That's awesome. Well, I mentioned that you're in Woodstock, Georgia, but about how many locations do you have?
So A&P currently has 4 locations. We're covering Forsyth County, Fulton County, the Marietas, which will be Cobb County, and Atlanta. We have another location down in Atlanta and Dunwoody, and obviously Cherokee County. Yeah.
How did you go from one main location, like in Woodstock, and choosing the other locations? How did that expansion come about?
It is easier for us to kind of cover more territory and kind of keep all the money or the sales for ourselves, right? But what's not easy is to having to deal with multiple projects, especially at large distances apart from each other. Low quality control, a lot more time wasted in driving or commuting. It's just less manageable. And that's when quickly into the business, we realized 2 years in, hey, what is the best way to grow without having to stretch yourself so thin?
Yes.
And then, because once you do that, quality, reliability, you're not there. I'm not going to drive 2 hours just check up on something or 3 hours and so forth and so forth. And then, I was familiar with the franchise model. I was already part of a big corporation as a franchisee, and all full transparency, I used to own a few stores as a franchise. So I was very familiar with the whole mechanism method. So all I did was implement it and, tweak the wheel and adapt it to the painting industry.
Yeah.
And voila, now like I said, we have 4 locations. There's training processes that we have in place. There's a lot of technology that we've invested into A&P to make that a reality. And it's working and it's manageable. More importantly, the quality control has not dropped, which was one of my biggest fear. Clients continue to have the same feedback, as in like somebody's here, somebody's checking on the job, they're showing up on time, scheduling. So we were able to build that copy and paste processes for other territories, and it's just working out successfully.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You talked a little bit about the different technologies that you develop. Can you expand a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, I have not quite developed it,
Yeah.
Yeah, wish that'd be a whole different ball game.
Well, you put them in place.
Yeah, so it's basically, I haven't I mean, I have not invented the wheel, right? All the pieces and components are out there. All I did was just put everything together, make processes, and be
Well, a lot of
organized.
people don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So you were onto something by doing that. You created your own CRM for your company, right? Is
Well,
that
no. So we bought a CRM that's
okay?
pre-established, like most of CRMs there are out there. It's just that I have the gift of knowing having a great deal of knowledge in technology.
Yeah,
So I went in and tweaked it and tweaked it and tweaked it until we found the right sauce. Some of that was some coding, some specialties needed that for other contractors will be very difficult simply because they don't speak the language in that sense, which is not
yeah,
a bad thing. It's just that it will cost somebody a lot of money to pay a programmer to get that done, right? So yeah, we were able to put those CRMs in place, and it basically became the heart and soul of the business because everything revolves around it, all the way from incoming lead generating, synchronization, QuickBooks. It speaks to everything all the way through the completion of the project, including the estimating tools, which are very, very advanced and plug and play numbers for someone to learn the business and be able to estimate something quickly.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's super important because the messaging like on a website is like free estimates, but when you have that advantage of having tools like that, it's so much better, right?
Right. No, absolutely. It makes life easier for everybody.
If you could rank like these aspects of your business in order of importance, marketing, sales, finance, operations, and hiring, what would you say is most important or
So I think marketing, it is by far the most important. And I would actually put them right, at the same level, with marketing obviously being on top a little bit higher than sales. Marketing and sales, marketing and sales. Without marketing, there's no sales,
right?
right? And there's no sales, there's no business, there's no production, there's no anything else, right? So I think marketing, it is the most crucial thing in a business.
And what is your ideal customer? Like when you are targeting, in the market and your messaging, who is your ideal person?
So that's a great question. We have that a lot. We get all kinds of leads, right? Obviously, we treat every lead with the same professionalism and ethical. But just, not every client is a good client, or we're not a good fit for everybody, right? Or it can, it definitely will be vice versa. So our ideal client are going to be residential with, certain needs and quality. We are not kind of the production type of company that will go in and do new constructions because we all know how quality sometimes can be affected by the speed in production, right? So we want to focus on quality repaints, exteriors, interiors, and things of that nature. Obviously, because we are already on the painting and flooring industry, we are able to do a lot more things like drywalls, bathrooms, and so forth and so forth. But we also keep those at a, at a certain type of clientele with certain needs, because we will do just a far more than quality work.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
awesome. What is the most profitable marketing channel for you? And you talked about how marketing is so important. So how
Yeah.
is that?
Well, that's actually a really tricky but interesting question, right?
Yeah.
Because you never know. Is it referrals? Is it marketing? Yes, we gather all the data, and also our the technology tools that we have implemented gives us that data. But it fluctuates. But if I were to say what will be the best source, it's always going to be SEO. It's going to be marketing, Google Ads. Although, as a business, we do not want to put all our eggs in one basket,
Sure.
right? And you understand this because,
Yeah.
you guys are in the industry as well. But I think a well-revolved and, complete marketing solution like you guys provide will be amazing, and that is super important because you have different source of lead acquisition. You
Yes.
know, GMB, right? That's one of them. A well presented website gives you that credibility, and I think it's very important to have multiple sources of such.
Yeah, I think you guys have been really smart when it comes to your marketing. Like, I love the colors and the branding, and you have, at your location in Woodstock, I've seen your cars out there. Like,
Yeah.
you have a really good visible spot on Highway 92. Um,
Yeah, I mean, we like some attention.
yeah, I can see,
You're
and that's
right. I was
smart.
like, yeah, we want to be bride.
Yes. Are your other locations like in core spots like that?
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, we do things intentional, right? All the way from our logos and colors, wrapping our vehicles, parking our vehicles. Everything's intentional, because I believe success comes with intention, right? Our location out in Cumming, their location is right on one of the main streets out of Forsyth. Very noticeable. Cannot drive by without seeing one of our vehicles there, right?
Yeah.
Because we also want to be known as the landmark, of that town, So
Yeah, be top of mind,
Yeah.
be that painting and flooring company that's recognized in that local area.
right.
That's awesome. What would you say to a business owner that wants to know, how did you get to a place where you knew you're ready to expand to another territory? Like, I know, you have 4 right now, but maybe you want to, what are your future goals and plans, and what would you advise to someone that wants to, expand their business?
Well, first off, foundation along with culture of a business goes a long way, because without it, you can hope and dream about expanding and growing. And yes, anybody can grow. Anybody can take on a lot more work. In fact, one of the downfalls, I think, for other competitors I've seen is they take a lot of work and they cannot deliver, right? For different reasons, lack of processes, lack of organization, lack of labor, you name it, all kinds of things. But I think we started noticing that we were ready for expansion once we realized that, hey, we're having the volume of leads that are coming in. Our marketing efforts, which took a while to build up, and I would always recommend someone new in business, start off with the right team of marketing. And I know you guys do phenomenal work with it. Start up with the right team of marketing and let the leads come in. It will get to a point where you cannot take them anymore, and that's a sign of expansion. And if you handle it well, and if everything's going through good, and you're getting 5-star reviews left and right, and the right things have been said about your work, that's a sign that you're next for, I don't know, maybe hire a sales an estimator, right? Hire a helper to run through, check up quality control, and so forth and so forth. So.
And when you expand, do you look at specific geographical qualifications, like what to know, like what area to expand to next?
Yes. Well, I mean, we do our research, right? We do our marketing analysis, look at what areas are, better or best fit for our model. So yeah, there's some homework that's done behind the scenes. We certainly want to be in the right neighborhoods, right? We certainly want to be mixed with the right quality that we represent. And I mean, it's like everything else. You do everything intentional. So yeah, that's definitely a part of whoever joins us, we put a lot of thought and, invest a lot of time in searching the territory, which could be led by zip codes. So yeah, we're really intentional about that too.
And have you acquired other painting and flooring companies and kind of taking them as, now rebranded into your
Well,
part of your franchise? Or?
That's an interesting question. I didn't think you would ask that, which is not bad at all, honestly. I haven't purchased anybody.
Okay.
I don't think I ever. Well, I don't want to say it ever, right? Maybe that's the wrong thing, but
Yeah.
no. But what I've done is I took people, within the similar industry, and coach them and help them get, to the next steps within their world. In a way, yeah, I'm coaching people within my industry for a couple of reasons. One, I know what it takes to, I've done it myself and I'm doing it. So, I'm here to help, right? I'm a huge believer of I will get in return what I put out. So, my cousin Karma always serves me well. So I'm a huge believer in karma. Karma. Let's get that right. But yeah, so I took on a couple of people, companies, and it's going well. Now we're going in 6 months. We've shown a lot of improvement. The numbers are looking good. They're far happier. They're as less stressed because, it got him out of that stress level of a day-to-day activity and kind of being busy and working the job and not working your business. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't want to say that that's going to be a focus for myself, but I will certainly do that with, people that we like and trust.
Okay. I know you talked about at the beginning, so you might have answered this already, but like what motivated you to pursue franchising as a growth strategy for your contracting business? How did you know that was the way you wanted to go?
Well, I didn't, obviously, right? Okay. All I knew was, hey, I'm the first one of my family here, or generational thing. I'm the immigrant, right? I'm going to build some legacy for my kids or for the next generations that are coming behind me. What was that? I had no clue. I didn't know it was going to be a franchise. Always that little book was there because I was familiar with it, so why not, right? It eventually became like, yeah, you know what? I can do this as a franchise, not as a corporate-owned location, and just open up A&Ps or other businesses right under my name. But the drive there was definitely legacy.
I love that. Because you're originally from
Peru.
And then you have how many kiddos?
3.
3?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Can you share some key lessons you've learned throughout the franchising process? Like, have there been ups and downs?
Yes. First one, get the right professionals. And when I say that, connect with the right lawyers, franchise brokers if that's the right you want to go. People that know more than you. All right. And so, yeah, team up with the right franchise mindset individual. That is super important. I can tell you, we can go about this all day long of the things I've tried and didn't fail, right? The one main thing that I will say is franchising, it's painful. It's quite a task. It's very challenging. Tons of hours of dedication, lots of thinking and strategizing, and it's it shouldn't be done by someone alone, and even less someone who has no experience whatsoever in it. Yeah. So my best advice will be get the right lawyer with the right experience, get the right consultant, if you will, right, and that'll help you and go through along the way.
Okay. Any like last nuggets of wisdom or insight that you'd want to share with anyone listening?
That'll be a lot more easier with a couple on a different conversation. But yeah, the one thing I would always say, and I live by this rule, put your money where your mouth is, right? Which I guess translates to do what you say you do or something, right? That goes a long way.
Like stick to your word and
Yeah, stick to
don't
your
just
word.
say you're going to do something, but just
Yeah. And I get it. You know, we all get busy and we all get sidetracked. But you know what? Credibility and integrity goes a long way, especially when you're treating, especially when you're dealing with other business owners, especially when you're dealing with homeowners, because now you're all of a sudden inviting their privacy. It's scheduling all the way from like, hey, I'm gonna be there between 1 and 2. Well, try to be there. If not, just give a quick call and say, oh, I'm gonna be running late, right?
yeah.
So I was talking to my dad the other day, and he was telling me, hey, you know what? Common sense is not so common anymore. And that kind of like stuck out because I was like, you're right.
Mm.
You're right. Common sense is not so common anymore, you know? So,
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I love that. I know I said lastly, but I know you guys are really active in like the networking communities and get referrals that way. Do you think that's the best way to get referrals? And has that been a key component into getting, more jobs? Like, how do you know what events also in the area to get involved in? And that's a good way to get your brand name out there.
Yeah. So, I want to say that's we certainly active, and we inspired everybody to be active along with the brand, and that can only happen by having the right people in your team. It goes all the way up from my wife. She does a wonderful job in connecting and representing and expanding the brand and so forth and so forth. Amazing. We team up with the right friends like yourselves. We certainly want to be known, and we want to be the face of the community. Therefore, we also, go out and help out and volunteer. But we also, kind of keep it on the quiet side. We've done a couple of charity events, work also, and it's it goes a long way. But again, none of this would have happen if it wouldn't be in a team effort, right? Like my wife always says, I'm gonna quote her on this: "Teamwork is the dream work."
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And as driven as I am, I wouldn't be successful if I didn't have the right partner in my life, or and also the right team members in my in our staff, which is what makes A&P successful. And I guess that could become another nugget, right?
Yeah.
This is not a one-man show and operation, obviously. Just because I'm here, it's certainly not a one-man show operation. This is a team effort, team combined. There's a lot of families that are being supported by A&P that eat, and such as ours too. We depend on the brand, we live the brand, we represent the brand, and therefore, it goes back to what I was telling you earlier. Building a strong foundation, that goes a really long way. Yeah.
That's awesome. How big is your team? Like, you said you have 4 locations, so about how many crews and
Wow, yeah. It's if I were to start counting everybody, that would be a. But our corporate office has anywhere between 3 to 4 people, and that's not including me or my wife. So we want to also provide, obviously, the right support for our franchisees, new members. And then each one of our locations, they're usually going to be like a couple with maybe 1 or 2 teams on the labor side. So, I mean, if we would put everybody together, all of us, including from admin, ownership, down to labor, it's probably going to add up to like 30, 35 people, which it's also the good thing about being within our family, because no one gets left behind, as in like, hey, we all thrive, we all depend on each other's for success. We're only successful as our next guy down the line, for them also to be successful. If they ever lack on labor, well, we're there to support it. If we always lack on labor, if we ever lack on labor, they're also there to support us and back and forward. So that phrase of teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
It's spot on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you already have a place in mind that you're going to be expanding to next?
Yeah. So we have big plans for 2024. It's definitely going to be, the word of the year is expansion for A&P. We are looking on the nearby states. We have things cooking down the pipeline, which,
Nice.
as per NDA contracts, can't really disclose much information,
Yeah.
but certainly we will be on different states, and eventually we'll get, more and more territories.
That's
started.
awesome. That's
Which
exciting.
means we're really, the way I see it is, we're really providing an opportunity for other people to also learn the business and become successful as, in the business and be part of our big family.
Awesome. And so how can people follow you online, or what's the best way that we could support you?
Yeah, I mean, we have all our social media. My number is very public. I mean, just about everybody has my cell phone number and
Yeah.
things of that nature. So,
And we
I
can
mean,
link that all in the feed that people can check out.
yeah, we have LinkedIn, our website. So yeah, I mean, if you want to find me, trust me, it's not gonna be that difficult.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Walter, for being on the podcast and just making the marketplace a better place for everybody, and your hard work and dedication. So that's really awesome. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you guys for inviting me.
Yeah.